drive far away. I lose myself in your eyes. You return to my mind like a wave. Out at sea.
A me interessa se tu ascolti mi dici
Trovo solo obbligare questo spazio.
Sì, però non capisco lui molto spesso, non bene, perché è un'impresa molto differente. No, c'è la classe, tu per ti senti vicino, velocemente di questa
Non c'è vero.
sacco di ora
Attaccato, non c'è niente.
no, non c'è vero. Io sono collegato su Skype.
Però non può essere magari se vuoi vedere il 10 si vede.
Ah, può darsi che Skype sotto.
Non mi dà la connessione, però.
E forse stava sorprendendo molto Skype. No, ce l'ho. Sta mandando il video con la canzone, capito? Quindi prima manda il video con la canzone, poi lo introduce e quindi la canzone.
Ma è una radio chi è?
È un podcast, magazine web, musica rock e metal inglese.
Bam, and welcome to another episode of the Mesmerise podcast. And today we have Alkamael. I think I've got that right. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. So, first question that I have is also, sorry, before I actually go further, that was Turnaround, which you've just heard, which is on YouTube and all the social medias. Is that correct? On all the Spotify's, yes. All the Apples, all the Amazons, everything. So, let's get this started with songwriting. So, there's a lot going on in your music. Where did you exactly start writing Turnaround? Like, did you start with the acoustic guitars? Did you start with the lyrics? Did you start with bass? Talk us through it.
Yeah, everything stay around the Turnaround. Yeah, the creation of Turnaround. Okay, thanks to giving me this possibility to say, beautiful web podcast and say hello everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. You're a very kind person. Thanks so much. Okay, Turnaround is very, the songs, I love so much this song because this song represents a moment in my life when I understand that is this way about producer, musician, singer, songwriter is started. Because from my entire life, I play music, and I have had a cover band, but the music is not so in first position in my life. Sorry for my English, is not perfect.
No, it's perfectly fine, dude. Don't you worry about it.
Thanks so much. Thanks. And so Anyway, but the music doesn't have a very first position in my life because I don't believe the possibility to do this. So if someone once told me 10 years ago, oh, you became Alkamael and you became a good singer, I say, oh, you are crazy. You say, what? Oh, no, I don't believe that. But the life brought me here to do this to create this character like Alkamael because that's all I've done in my life. It doesn't work. So I have made so much work around my life. For the last work I've done, I was executive chef for Italian gourmet style, so, as I believe it. And but this work for me is not giving me so much happiness, that. So anyway, that's all my energy I try to put in to like to grow my child, okay, because I have two child and grow my family, and I've forgotten for many time for a couple of years the music, but I'm becoming to pressure because the music's born with me inside me. And I write the moments when everything I've done doesn't work. I asked myself, what hell are you doing in this life? Because my life is passing, I don't find exactly position by myself in this life. I don't know the street. I don't know. I was very confused. And that time when very so depressed, I saw. I got images about myself when I was child, and played the piano. And there, I thought maybe my way, my path, my journey should be in the music. But I'm up that moment. I didn't never create a song. I play music. I have made covers. Say, okay, it's not a problem. But I never. I thought to myself like a singer because my voice is very so deep. It's tenor. For this kind of typology of registro, vocal registro, two rots sing the almost song. You have need so much techniques.
Yeah.
So it's that. So for the reason I always thought is my voice is terrible. But in one moment of my life, I met a girl, and I thought in love about this girl, and I want to try to, to express her that my emotion for her, and I don't know why. When I have took the choice to work with the music, it was like magic, today I can't explain. But it's like it seems like it's opened a door, and my Alkamael artist character songwriter take the sun, And I wrote the song in 1 month. I wrote the text, but with my English very poor. But so I'm trying to, and I created the song for her. So I keep the song. I say always. I keep the song. The woman's gone. But anyway, it's not important this. But it starts Alkamael to take the life. It's taking the life Alkamael, and Alkamael is born, and Alkamael is wrote up to now more or less 100 songs. See, I have this moment creating 3 years. 8 albums I'm producing in the future step by step, and something say behind me, deep inside myself and my soul is take the light and it's coming out. It was just the decision with myself to become Alkamael. So I think most of the people lived life with the scare inside the life. You know, so I would like to do this, but I don't have the power to do it. No, okay, but it's not possible for me. No, this is bullshit. When you feel your passion, when you feel exactly inside who must you want to be, in that moment you have to do it. Stop.
Yeah.
Don't plan B. Don't plan C. Just plain A. And you became that you wanna be. You understand? It is important for everything because the life, the reality where we live, don't have no ones to find exactly his own light. You know that because the society is very trouble. You know that the money, the rent, your child's, your food, the clothes. You have to work, and the people I think mess his identity.
Yeah.
So, and Alkamael is born when I understand this, and when I remember Jesus Christ when he told, if you want to arrive to the paradise, you must become like a child. Because when we was child, we know exactly who I am. Understand?
Yeah.
And
You
but
understand your own identity. You know who you are. But once you get older, you get
exactly.
all these different questions of who do you want to be? What do you want to be? Then you have the question of money. What kind of living situation do you want? Such as, do you want to be rich? Do you want to be poor? So on and so forth. Then you have everything else. Then you start
Exactly.
a lot of people lose themselves within that, being a part of the machine that is the
Exactly.
economy and
Exactly.
I don't want to say capitalism because that sounds very
Yeah, exactly.
like
Exactly.
communist Russia all that, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
with that you do lose a certain amount of identity you that you have as a child. As a child, you are that person who is influenced by their environment, by the people that raise you, your interests, but everything is still pure. Like there's certain
Exactly.
things that people won't do because, oh, this happened in my life, that happened in my life, so I don't want to do this
Exactly.
anymore, or I won't eat this anymore. I won't, or as an crude example, I can't drink this drink anymore because it made me feel sick once, so on and so forth. So
Exactly.
experience more
Exactly.
knowledge
Exactly.
almost
Knowledge.
removes your
I wanna just say this. When you I'm a student about esoteric world because mm, the esoteric world entered my life when I was 21 years old, I think. So I met the first master of my life, and brought me the knowledge about esoterical words. I understand. For me, started a journey in this science, and I don't understand myself why that's all I done is doesn't work.
yeah
And today I understand this, and is the reason is because my frequency is it didn't was never pure because was changed from that you have said before, you know, John.
yeah
It's changed. So, and all people change it because the capitalism, society, you know, the all fucking problem we lived day by day, you know, we miss our identity and our pure, you know, you
yeah
say that. and the frequency of your soul, your energy, you can call it or you prefer, or you appreciate, but it's changed, it's distorting frequency, and the universe can respond you very well, very clean in base your desires. You
Yeah.
understand? Exactly. When it became Alkamael, and when I took the choice to be a songwriter and producer and to manifest my creativity and the gift is born with me, okay, my life has changed. As many doors is open alone.
Oh yeah.
And yes, auntie. And there I understood this. So many people do music because they have want to be someone, want to become someone. It's not pure intention.
Mm.
Many people want to do the songwriters, don't do something because oh it's cool. No, it's good intention. Everyone's try to see in ourselves and understand his vibration, his soul. He understands exactly which is the gift, okay, they have inside and try to show himself in first moments and second time in the life and the other people around you. So the intention is very close related at your gift. So for the reason we have tried to remember the child is gone inside us from the life. You
Yeah.
have keep it again and you watch it and see, oh fuck, that guy, that child. I remember now,
Mm.
which is my favorite game when I stay alone or when I play with other kids, and this is the identity of my gift.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is important. Turn around for me. It was the first song I published because of the first moments when I come and understand everything of this and just do it. Stop. And
Yeah.
this is the first step of my journey, music journey,
Mm.
for the reason. And the production was very interesting in the first moments because it's not very easy because I didn't know about this world. I didn't know exactly. So I want to try something to have a good sound mixed by it, Britain sound and America sound.
Yeah.
And the problem I remember the first time when I contacted the first studio. They have done my first mix for Turnaround, and was a tragedy because the songs don't sound so with this paste, no doubt about English, Brighton rock. No. It was mixed at Turnaround the first moments like pop music, Italian pop music with the sound. I don't know exactly if it was a rock or is it bullshit in the dark.
Mm.
And I spent so much money. After the life, the universe helped me to me. Is coming my help, and I meet some good guys called Giuseppe Bassi from Italy. He has a good studio, and he worked for many years in Los Angeles, like producer, John.
Mm.
He's a good studio. And when he heard my song, he's understand exactly must be the sound of the song, and we entered very. We became very partner, John. So we understand. He understand behind the word and my explanation about that I want to realize. He just understand very quickly because we speak the same language, that.
Yeah.
And he remake the remade the mixing, and we have do again some line instruments recording different way. So we better something, and after you do the mixing, the mastering of turnaround, exactly the sound I wanna try to find for wanna hear for my song. And Giuseppe Bassi was his work to still with me. He's saying all my all creativity creation, and we work very well, very good together. He's a very good guy. He's a very nice guy. He's very professional. And so my music sounds is coming from all parts because I have a good the guitarist, the main guitarist is called Andrea Inglese. He's Italian. He's coming from my city in Sicily, but he's now live in Rome because he's what like guitarist musicians in Rome. And we worked by internet because internet today is very good tools help you to do that you want to do is without so much difficulty. So he has a very smaller studio, recording studio. He makes the parts of the guitar, and he send me, okay, it's good this, no, I don't like this. We work in this way. After he puts when I have a contradiction about the line of guitars. I put in Giuseppe Bassi in the studio. He's mixing and mastering the guitar. So for all instruments, I work with the drummer is Andrea Stoffler, and he's from Milano. Parrilla is actually his city close to Milano, and he have done the drum line in the studio and send the audio in Giuseppe Bassi. So. We worked, so it was good. Yeah, it's turnaround is born. The problem is, I would like make my music in 432 hertz because the music now is 440 hertz. This is not good because the music in 440 hertz. Does work and this does work because this frequencies was changed in the past, and because at that moment this frequency opened the mind. The music is very vehicles to open your mind to your emotion, and I think someone decided is to decide this decision to don't let the people know, that so to fit something about important things of music. I know exactly the structure about 432 hertz is very important because all typical sound, spiritual sound from Tibetan monks, for example, the Om, the mantras, and for example, the Australian Aborigine use the didgeridoo, the frequency they use to become in altered state, with meditation is in 432 hertz.
Okay.
This is very important. And the frequency of our body, our mind, our emotion, that in India is called from millennium, and they speak about chakras, the circle of energy we have. Okay, these are symbols. We have to understand exactly what mean the symbols. But anyway, the chakra has its frequency. The energy the human is composed is actually mix about of all of this frequency.
Yeah.
And our mind correspond to one kind of frequency. Our emotion, for example, the emotion are seven. We have 7 emotion: love, hungry, melancholy. That.
Yeah.
All these feelings is our own frequency exactly. Okay. And now we use so much smartphone, Wi-Fi. This technology is okay, it's good for us, but it's not really good for ourselves, for health, because the frequency create a mix with the normal frequency we have around us, the energy, and they're disturbing our energy. Understand?
Hmm.
And for the reason for my first album is called Dark Soul, and I'll do everything in 4/3/2 hertz accordation.
Mm.
And the problem is when you try to use the digital configuration,
Hmm.
the digital don't have algorithm for calculates 42 hertz.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing, you know.
There is I mean, I've started looking into using different tunings recently simply because I was reading up on bands like Machine Head, Alice Cooper, so on and so forth. Like early Alice Cooper would use different frequencies for their tunings. So I believe what you can do now, I need to do more reading on this, is just simply just detune it within a certain range, which is
Such,
like plus 10 cents or something along those lines.
yeah, exactly. See, this is important because the things is the things is this the thing is this the point is
Hmm.
this. I'm started for many years, Brian Eno. I
Yeah.
love Brian Eno. Okay, for me, is a god like Roger Waters, Pink Floyd, Peter Gabriel. See, now I heard my life there is there is a lot of music,
Mm.
and Brian Eno is he study the effects about psychoacoustic on the into the mind of the man.
Yeah.
And I heard for many times the music of Brian Eno with my headphone and say hour, close my eyes to hear exactly what really done.
Mm.
And with my esoterical studies, okay,
Hmm.
I understand exactly the work of Brian Eno.
Yeah.
Brian Eno's work with different type of frequency the normally you don't use in normal music.
Yeah.
He uses very typical frequency and he's create a sound, he's create a bass sound very alchemic.
Mm.
So he's don't use nothing complicated. The melody of Brian Eno, Brian Eno make a melody for 15 minutes with 3 notes. Come on.
Yeah.
And you stay there 1 hour, 2 hour. Here, Brian Eno, you take your fly and use just 3 notes or 4 notes. He's repeating in loop, or no, and but it look like it seems like every loop is something to new, but it's the
Yeah.
same rhythm, same
Yeah.
loop. Why happened this? Because if he understands exactly the mind is how he hear the sound. He's studied for a long time. His Brian Eno is a god, not because he's just only talent. But
Mm.
Brian Eno is studied, I think, for years, the experimentation of the effect of the sound of the mind to find
He's a
exactly.
very experimental composer. Really, he's done quite a lot, and he has collaborated with a lot of different people. I mean, he's also. I'm sure you're well aware, since you are someone that is very Brian Eno eccentric. Well, not eccentric fan. Sorry.
As
Um,
artist.
he's done that collaboration that he did with U2 many years ago.
And
Very
this,
experimental.
for the do when it stopped the collaboration with Brian Eno's changed the YouTube. It's not the same.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but I don't like the YouTube now. I like the first YouTube because they have very soul, they have something. So anyway, the talking is very deep and very long because to explain the whole mechanism about the sound, but we can try to do in the future maybe if you would like. But anyway, I use the scales of music of my keyboards. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand, for example, the effects about for example, the A minor, C major in the mind in the body. That's important. It's important to understand. The mind is us very movements. Our mind has very hard movements, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
And for example, in this moment, okay, you are thinking something, okay, something else, and after you think another thing, and after that you have thought before, reappear in your mind is like a loop. Our mind is working this way.
Yeah.
For the reason the master of meditation, Tibetans or other style, or Shintoism, or other style religion system, teach you to stop your mind to arrive at illumination.
Mm-hmm.
So this concept is very important to understand the importance of the sound of your mind. For example, I love so much progressive rock, you know that. So yes,
Yeah.
Gentle Giant, King Crimson, and stay hours to hear them. But this progressive rock, he don't survive when change the culture for the music. So you find progressive rock start from 70 years, arrives maybe 19, 19 years and stop. So the Yes Group was the old band. So the big band skipped is our concert for many years, for 20 years, maybe, or 30 years, I don't know. They have a record about rock progressive because Gentle Giant is finished. Because this kind of music, after when for the new masses, is very complicated to hear all typical changing
Mm-hmm.
this music do for his style.
It's very different to what most popular music is anyway. So the way that people, the general person, the way that they perceive
Exactly,
it is very foreign, and generally the way that the human being um, acts towards anything that it doesn't understand or doesn't know will react with both fear and violence.
exactly. And that I think is this. I think the labels, okay, multi labels, so now the big labels. I think they doing something in the last 10 years to programming the minds of the new masses, okay, to sell the music very, or the possibility, you know, to take the people for the reason artists may do something the rock very, you know. So Turnaround is very simple song, it's very normal song because I want to just do something this way. My desire is create very simple song, but my other song, my other album is rock. My rock is caress just gently a little bit progressive rock. You know, I have many influences about that. And I think the artists like me have I am some difficulty to find the labels because that I do is not appropriate for the masses because the masses the guy, for example, you see this the guy, the kids, so 20 years old, they arrive on YouTube, they hear a song, 30 seconds, okay, change, don't hear nothing. They just watch the video, watch 30 seconds, 1 minute, if the video like, if there is something girl with the boob, I don't know, this is 1 minute, and after change. So the mind's very so more faster about the past.
Yeah, but then you do have the people that do stick around and listen. You do have the people that do like this kind of music that do want to stick around, such as I can't remember who said this, but an old funk bassist from a very well known band back in the 70s has said that he's made more. he had big hits with labels, made almost no money. However, once he started going independent, he could do the music he wanted to, and yes, he had less people that listened to his music, so to speak. But one, he made more music and he could make the music he wanted to. So you're better off having, say, 100 people that love your music and really get into it than a million that, as you said, will listen to a song 30 seconds to 1 minute and just leave it. They're not the people you want listening to your music in the first instance. What you were saying about labels having people listen to certain kinds of music, I think I agree with that to a certain point. However, over the last few years, independent musicians and bands have been able to get out there in a way that you weren't able to 5, 10, yeah,
Mhm.
like even 5 years ago. Like one of the genres that comes to mind, as you were saying about progressive, is gent metal, which is a subgenre of progressive rock metal, but instead of using frequencies like you've been explaining, what they've done is instead of using like 4/4 time and very simple like rhythmic timings, it's very
That's
complicated syncopes that they would just slam onto each other. It wasn't complicated as such, but complicated in the way of I'm playing a lot of notes, I'm doing this. It was complicated in the way of rhythm that a lot of people weren't quite accustomed to. However, because it was something new and something that people didn't hear, yes, the general person didn't quite jump on there because I don't like this screaming. I don't like this thing that doesn't go da 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 da
yeah,
da da.
exactly.
But instead, you've had a whole new generation of people who predominantly only listen to that simply because it's so different. It's something that speaks to them the same way as Brian Eno with his frequencies speaks to you. I think labels are well, big labels at least are
Mm.
what that they're
Yeah,
gatekeepers. They are there to, okay, we can let this in, we can let that in, but we can't let this in because that's they have to go by data. But if you create something that doesn't have data, doesn't have a history, so to speak,
she
then
is
they can't take that chance, which makes sense because they're a business. But if you're an independent artist such as yourself, perfect, you can do whatever you want to do. And listening to I've listened to your song a few times, Turn Around, and I found it very pleasant. I found that it's very straightforward. It's very easy. It's easy to listen to, but interesting.
yes, that's
And
it.
there's a lot of layers. There's a lot going on. So it is very well thought out and very well produced. And I think that's
Thanks.
something that works very well for yourself because most people they'll have like an acoustic guitar song, so to speak. Will just have the acoustic guitar and sing, and that's it. You went that step further and mixed
Yeah, thanks.
electronic elements with just you you um you wrote and created the song not so much as a song the way I see it at least, not so much as a songwriter but more as a composer, which I find very interesting because composers have more leeway to create what they want to
Yeah,
create.
exactly. For example, turnaround for me, on the style of turnaround, I wanna just I I just used for turnaround the concept of the instruments must be classic, classic.
Yeah,
For example, I hear, actually now Pink Floyd, Shine Crest Diamond, the intro of the song is fucking great,
mm,
the sound is the sound is when it starts to Shine Crest Diamond. Okay, the saints that are is very simple composite. You have a organ, big organ for the church, you know, a part, synthesizer parts, and I think maybe Alan Parsons used to do maybe violins, such about mellotron, I think, you know.
Yeah.
So it's very simple sound, and many, for example, when you hear Led Zeppelin, okay, when I was love, so you hear the purples in the water, or Aqua Stars, come on, the sound is normal instruments. Now, because the people play music, create music, they have the stressed. They are stressed to create something to innovative, to have a chance to work with a label, you know. That creates something after 1 years that you have done is old.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean? So, but when you hear Led Zeppelin, is they actual up to now today. You hear Pink Floyd, this music is never die.
Yeah.
Because that use normal instruments. Turn around. Someone told me some producer when I hear the first time turned around told me he's old. This music, this song is enough because so this music you find them so much music in the 19 years. So he's old. You have need something more. I told him, thanks for the compliment. For me, it was a compliment. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the producers want to try, come on, you brought my, come on. So you have to create something. You have get out the rabbits from the hole. Time is not possible.
You don't have producers and record companies don't take a chance like they did back in the 70s and the 80s. I think one particular interview that still is relevant today as it was then is an old interview with Frank Zappa, where I mean, a genius, absolute, self-taught composer, etc., genius, absolutely brilliant in the way he writes, but as he said in the interview, like, you used to have these old guys, big cigar smoking guys, like, oh, I don't know what this music is, I don't understand it, let's just put it out. Oh, look at that, it sold a few million records, fantastic, we made money. We don't know, we don't understand this. And then they brought the young guy in who knows everything, and now he runs the company, and he's like, no, we can't take a chance on that. We can't do this because I'm one of the young guys. I know what sells. And that's what has ruined experimental music has died due to that. However, I think we're going back to that due to the fact of people can self-release like they've never been able to before. The only thing that's missing, like it did back in the old days, like the days of Zappa, Captain Beefheart, etc., is funding. A funding that only record companies were able to provide.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, sometimes I hear the radio here in Italy, and I'm driving my car with with my wife, and sometimes appears something rock style, some new rock song, okay, and I make this joke with my wife and say, okay, you are hearing this song, right? And she say, okay, yeah, okay, I'm turn off the radio, sing it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Take, for example, Led Zeppelin, and I don't know, Black Dog. Okay. Okay, let's say my wife. Okay, hear this song, this Led Zeppelin, Black Dog. Okay, I'm turn off the radio, sing it. She can sing it. she can sing it because she remember everything. Something's work for this brain. Understand? For example, I don't think about me because I'm knowledge now still. I'm not famous, I'm not nuance, but my music work with the simplicity.
Yeah.
So simplicity, it doesn't mean necessarily say discontato,
Boring.
boring. You understand?
Yeah.
Into the simplicity, no, because my wife, she work like translator. She knows actually very well English about me. So making something too simple, it doesn't mean necessarily boring, you know. Into the simplicity, you must produce your genius.
Yeah.
Simplicity. Brian Eno, Led Zeppelin, Peter Gabriel, Genesis. Come on, Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is not very technical music.
No.
They create the first form about metal, you know that? But it's very simple. It's very schematic. The sound, the mood, the groove is important.
But they had time. They had time to develop that sound. They had the time. They've had the funding. I think that's where a lot of music falls short. It doesn't necessarily fall short, but it follows a formula where, like, you've listened to metal and rock bands over the last 10, 20 years. Most of them will use the same amps, the same gear, the same pedals, the same kind of equipment. Because they know, okay, say I like, I don't know, say I like AC/DC. I have a rock band. What does AC/DC use? They use Marshalls and Gibsons. Okay, I'm going to buy a Marshall and Gibson. Boom, AC/DC.
Exactly. So, but for their CDC is the I think so. I love CDC. Okay, CDC I love it. Is my big band of referment too, in the rock. But for me, they was very great. But the CDC, for example, they asked the side of the commercial side of the rock. Because the test is not very subliminal like Pink Floyd or the Led Zeppelin, but so that they've done is incredible because they create a power line of music and stay constant in while you hear the song. So that they create is not easy because I must study the composition of the CDC and studied the frequency they work. So it's not was easy to create it. So Bon Scott is the voice of Bon Scott. It was exactly for that type of frequency, for the riff, the mood of the guitar. Yeah. So you know that. So it's important because so to express in the mood, in the groove, on the riff guitar, you have a choice part of the keyboards of the guitar, so you know that. So that you can do here is not you can do here.
Yeah.
And for the reason the sound for express something in the very more incisive, you have used this part of the guitar. And for the reason your distortion, your drive work a level, high level, different, a level different of equalization of sound. For that reason, Bon Scott is necessity that voice because Bon Scott must arrive a level up more about the guitar, you know that.
Yeah.
And take a mix. So the CDC work is incredible. Okay, is very incredible. They are big. They was very incredible. So that I want to do is that I want to say is this. This is a problem. We have tried to re-educate the people, the new masses here. Is actually the music. So I'm starting with Turnaround. It's a very simple song for me, but I have a project. Well, all my LPs coming in the future is just a little different one from the one. Because, for example, Dark Soul is get a typical sound like Jimi Hendrix style and Led Zeppelin or something like CC. So I have these influences in this album. But when you use vintage sounds, okay, guitar ampli, vintage, we are making to do this LP, very big research about the sound with my producer, artistic producer Giuseppe Bassi, and we try to buy that ampli vintage. We all time like a crazy on time on internet. Oh, I found that guitar. Okay, buying. I find that microphone. Oh, buy that. So we spend so much money to do that. But anyway, because in my mind I want to try to do something very classic. So when someone told me we have to say this, okay. When someone says, okay, but what you do is not innovative. Oh, fuck, you innovative. It's rock. Rock is classic. It's like music classic. It's like a blues. It's like a jazz. You know that?
Yeah.
Rock is a rock. If you find something too innovative, isn't no more rock. It's changed. It's became another thing, you know that. But the rock is pure. The rock is this. Guitar, Hammond, if you want to put inside that you want to do your choice. But rock must be classic. For this reason, turnaround that you all used in turnaround is a classic sound rock. Melodic, could be like or could be not like, but it's no point. But that I tried to do was just to create a song very simple with the impact sound like Brian Eno, because it must be a right you when you hear the first time a very emotion sound, okay? And for the arpeggio for the guitar and the first part when I started the song, I used it Rickenbacker 12 chords.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, English. For the 1974, I think. So, I said my guitarist is not this guitar. We bought a post to turn around this guitar. So Rickenbacker 12 chords. We put this Rickenbacker guitar into a box of 1970 years.
Yeah.
And the chorus we used to make the sound of the arpeggio of the first part of turn around is nothing digital.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking chorus 70 years. And we recorded it with a microphone.
Yeah.
And I put on the mix, stop. And the older guitar, we worked in a different way. But because of the importance of the past, the pace of the sound, you know that's the influence.
The algorithms, the way it's built, just simple way it reacts
exactly
to it. That's why, such as a just a pedal will be different from, say, the copy of like a multi-effects pedal.
Exactly. That you said before, no? Some more guitarists don't change the assets because they remain close, no? Or they have structure because they have created something. They know exactly use the Alkamael, you know. So it's important the research of the sound because it's important because now today the music, okay. For example, I love Nickelback, I love it. Okay, but
Nickelback's great. I have no problem with that. I don't see why people have a problem with Nickelback, really.
Yeah, exactly. I like they are good, but Nickelback, for example, do you hear one song or you hear all song? You know that it's some things, it's changed the mood, but we are seeing the sound. So they are great bands, okay, remain great bands. So, but anyway, I don't like much so much this rock because very and stop. There is not very research about feelings, emotion, something too real.
It's very templated. There's a very particular structure they follow.
Exactly. It's very exactly it's template. Exactly, you said right. So when I want to hear something to very power from me in the morning, for example, in the morning I'm tired, I even need something. I hear all the time the big bands influenced my life. So, for example, since I needed to hear AC/DC, pump the volume up, No, it's my decks vibrating. My wife is looking at me sometimes. You're fucking crazy. Yeah, no, but I need to see the video from side. See. I need something to hear Pink Floyd. So it's like a drugs, It's like a drugs because they've done something because they have a language. They make music known for the masses, for itself first, and then second the masses are recognized. So this mechanism is changed. It is for this reason the music now doesn't work more. There is so much music and don't say nothing when you hear it. There's nothing. Don't say nothing. You turn off the radio and you don't understand which is the chorus, which is the bridge, which is the verse. You don't understand. Chorus, long, like a verse. No, the chorus must be rapid, faster. The chorus is work for your mind. This because the whole song, the verse, the bridge, preparing your mind to take the chorus of the song. You know that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Every my music, that's all I'm doing in my life, like Alkamael, like songwriter, producer, is must like before May. Nerd people. That I do for me. Because when I heard my music, okay, I say, oh fuck, yes, okay, yes, that was work, okay. I publish the song.
You need to be able to enjoy your music yourself, really. I mean, this is an old saying, which is the audience can smell bullshit from a mile away. It's like, oh, great, I've done intro, verse, chorus. Great.
Exactly. When I tell you this, the public fusion. The audience.
Yeah.
It's not stupid.
They're not. They understand. They still work by instinct.
Exactly. But they're not stupid. When you do something, this something have a soul, and you do it for yourself, to appreciate, to like yourself. You wanna. The people like. So this is the story of turnaround. I do turnaround to express my emotion for that girl. Okay, the feelings and the melancholy, because this girl, she doesn't have more. I say more. È come si dice, sorry for my English.
That's okay.
Non aveva più, non credeva più negli uomini.
He didn't believe more in love.
Ecco, she didn't believe more in love, in the man,
Yeah.
And I was very depressed for the time because it was very hard fight to try to convince her to love me, And this very hard feelings, frustrating. I'm transforming something to her. I can love you. I can fix your emotion, your heart, your soul. You believe me? No, it's melancholic, And I create to express that I have means. I didn't think of the audience when I create. Okay, it's good to be like the audience. It's good to be like the people. Okay, maybe I should do something more dance or more. No. That's the all creative journey I do for creates turn around. It was for satisfy my emotion I felt in that time. And when I hear turn around now in this moment of my life, it's past 3 years from that story. I feel the same emotion. Is the music evocating again exactly that all feelings I felt in that time.
Yeah.
So the music is evocation, is a magic opera. The music.
Yeah.
It's important on the music of this. And today, many people make music because want to sell, want to become someone. Patti Smith is a very great artist. Patti Smith said that in an interview I saw a couple of years ago, I think. I remember exactly that. But Smith says, don't do music for like the other audience, the people, and don't with this kind of stress. You think, make something to quality, and try to make that you have, try to show the vocating that you have inside with his music. Stop. If you do something very of quality, if you do very good music, the success are right.
Yeah, no, you're completely right with that. I mean, even that goes for both songwriting and composing. I mean, think about it; they're both technically the same thing. But for a songwriter, it's okay. Will people like a song? No, it's down to what you feel, what emotion can you express. Same with someone who say is a film or a video game composer. They don't think, okay, what are people going to like hearing? They're going to look at, okay, this is the visual, this is what I've got. What emotion can I invoke and portray with this? Does this need an orchestra? Does this need a shredding metal guitar solo? Does this need an opera singer? Does it need a rock and roll singer? So on and so forth. So everything works differently, and that you're completely right with that. That's something that I find very interesting when you collaborate with someone. As you said yourself, you've collaborated with a producer, which is quite interesting because that's not something that a lot of people do get to experience. What most people experience is me. I'm the guitarist, and I went and wrote a song with the bassist, and so on and so forth. And it's interesting because my band is currently writing and recording an album at the same time. We've written the parts, and what we do is we go, me and the guitarist, because I wrote the original guitar parts of some of the songs. What'll happen is the guitarist will come round, we'll record together, we'll show it, and like, okay, this is it. And then he'll show me a part of, oh, but what if you get this? Because again, I'm thinking, because I'm like writing guitar parts and writing lyrics, so I'm in two different minds. He creates his own expression to certain parts, like, oh, yes, this works really well with that, or this change, so on and so forth. So the collaboration, like, there's some people that don't need to collaborate, and they're fantastic for doing so because they can do it all themselves.
Yeah.
But it's great being able to collaborate like that as well because, as you said earlier on in the interview, you've tried going with some producers and they brought it back to you and you thought, no. When you work with someone in music, because music is such a personal thing, it needs to reflect with them as well. Now, if
Exactly.
I think it
So,
really depends
no, I
on.
wanna sorry for about creativity. About that you said before. For example, when I create my music, I use Logic Pro X. For example, I have some plugin about simulation of the guitar.
Yeah.
And I use with my keyboards to do the guitar line. But when I send my music, my guitarist,
Yeah.
I tell him this that I thought, but you must do that you feel.
Yeah.
This is that's for collaboration about to retake your talking about this. Sorry. Okay.
Exactly. No, that makes complete sense because when you get down to it, when you have someone else collaborate on a song or add their own parts, they add their own emotion. Now, what is great, and I think that's something that is reflected in your music personally, is they understand your music and they know what to add to that music. What I've always found to be a very, very powerful statement is, which is quite funny because it's a pop group, is a it was an interview that I've watched, and there was a particular convention. I think it might have been NARM or one of the big music ones, and one guy was going around asking guitarists, "Give me three of the most important words as a guitarist." Most of them would say things like practice, practice, practice,
Yeah,
play
that's it.
really loud, etc. But then he interviewed the guitarist from Maroon 5,
Yeah,
and
that's
he gave a perfect answer, which was serve the song, which is perfect. That's best because it's a case of it's not about your own ego. It's not about I want to be better, blah blah blah. It's how how does what I'm doing make this song better?
exactly.
Because the song is what is important, not you as the individual, not the band, not an image. The
Exactly,
song.
exactly. See, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I appreciate that you have said up to now. Exactly. So the people sometimes miss the reason why exists the music. It's just this, and the people miss it there. And the music is a vocation of our universe inside us. So it is important to try to do something or better like you do for a son, for your son. You know, a song is like a son for us. And your son, you want for your son everything is coming good. You know, so he has food, he has clothes, he has shoes, he has school instruction. No, that you have said is important. Yeah, is that's the right thing. So when you are do music, this is important. When you do a song, that you are doing in a song is important not for make music for the other people, but for ourselves. That is important. Everything I'm trying to do for my song has to be the best to create my song. You know that this is important. This way is important, and the people, the audience, feel you, like you.
Yeah.
Up to now, there is no one told me it's turn around. It's a shade. No one. I sent the song. I'm very how many people asking my wife because my wife helped me to send the song and friends. How many people we sent it to?
1,000.
1,000 maybe, yeah, 1,000. And people, and no one told me, oh, this no, I don't like, no, nothing. So the people spend 1 minute to express that they want to feel felt with the song. This is important because of saying you want to be kind with someone and say, okay, I like it, thanks. No, it's you close very fast. They're talking. No, the people spend time to answer us. I hear your songs to the rounds, brought me in the past. I feel this melancholy is very nice, a great voice. I love it. I make me very so emotion. So everyone spend 10 seconds, 50 seconds, 1 minute to share that they have heard. And this is very, for me, was great, because if you take 1 minute, 2 minutes to say what you have felt when you hear it, that I've done is work.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's beautiful.
It's fantastic that you're getting such response as well. But it's not just sending out to several people. As you said, you're actually getting responses as well. All of them being positive. Like, if they didn't like it, they wouldn't even bother responding. So that's absolutely fantastic too. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Thanks for your interview. It's very nice. Sorry for my English because
No, it's perfectly fine. You've been absolutely fantastic. I mean,
my teacher, she told me you are Cockney. How you have this accent Cockney if you don't know if you know English? I said no. No, she beat me sometimes. Peggy, she tell me, no, it's so much Cockney. Come on. The walls is no, I don't say because she England. She's not coming from England. So she's a very nice person. She smiled all the time when recording my song. She stay on the phone. I can't stop. No, like it's very Cockney. Come on, my fire is say. Told me say all the time is I'm a Cockney, but but it's in any way.
It's definitely not Cockney. I mean, I live in I live in a county where all the Cockneys moved to. So I live in a Cockney county. So I know what Cockney sounds like. You do not sound Cockney in any capacity. So it makes absolutely no sense. It's
Okay,
quite
tomorrow
funny.
when I hear Peggy say, "Hey, someone's from the UK," telling me it's not really Cockney. Come on.
It's quite funny when you get that though, because someone that I know whose teacher was she was a French teacher, and she was teaching German. However,
Your English is perfect.
yeah, it makes sense. But she didn't like Germans because, well, World War, etc., etc. But she would teach kids German, and then I meet this person a few years ago, and I go, oh yeah, I know a little bit of German. All right, speak some German to me. Speaks German. That's completely fucking wrong. What? That's not even right. That's not even poor grammar. That's not even a word.
It's funny.
It's pretty fun. Like that's the thing. Like English people have. I mean, I'm sure you've had that with you have it with Italian as well. English people aren't very good at speaking other languages other than English because they don't have the same little idiosyncrasies that other languages have, like German, Italian. You have things like like rolling R's and like and things like that. So
the H, American H, ha.
Exactly,
So,
but then the thing that European, like any other language, struggles with English is the grammar, because the grammar doesn't make sense when you speak it from a different language. Like in, I'm sure in Italian it's quite similar. I mean, I've only ever tried to learn Spanish, but I know Spanish and Italian is kind of similar in some ways.
Yeah. They have a sound very sibilant. For us as Italians, it's not possible to pronounce. My wife, she translates in Spanish and speaks Spanish perfect. Her accent in Spanish is perfect. I don't know. I am trying to emulate it, but it's not. So when I started to study with Peggy Johnson English, the accents, she made me very muscles movement behind here my chalk. What says in English? Through here muscles, hopping with muscle here.
Yeah.
Put down and open here cheekbones. Stay here. He make me. He let me do very a very lot of exercises for modeling my muscles.
Yeah, just sort of because when you speak a certain language, your muscles develop in a certain way. Like
Exactly.
when you speak French, what you'll notice is most French people will have a slight pout in their lips because of the way they speak. Like one thing that I've been taught recently that I've not been pronouncing correctly, and that's the thing that I think comes from speaking German for a lot of my early life, is because I've been taught recently that you need to have your tongue behind your teeth. I would always have it in front because die das. Like that happens for me naturally, but for someone I don't hear the differences. Like I've tried to learn Russian several years ago, and I thought, oh, I'm pronouncing everything correctly, and Russians would be like, no, you're not. You're really not. You're like, it needs to be here. It needs to be in the back of your throat. Like, but I can't go that far. How do you guys do this?
Yes, nice. Really. So, for example, when I finished to speak for a long time, and this moment we talk, we talk a very long time. When I finished just speaking English and I start to speak Italian, it's coming out a hybrid, because all my muscles is changing to try reproducing at the best the English accent, and when I started to speak in Italian, I'm seeming like gay, you know. There's an exchange.
Because you're
Sound.
going back to frequencies, because of the way you have to speak, because of the way you have to change your quote unquote untrained muscle,
Yeah,
you have to hit
exactly.
a different range. Like I
For
know,
example, for example, in this moment, I hurts only on my muscles because to contemplate English, muscles is in this moment is tired because my muscles. I feel pain here. I feel pain here.
yeah.
I feel pain because I'm work with muscles so Penny or how Peggy teach me. So it's funny. I
I
hope
think.
to speak on just only English and no more Italian for a long time because
Oh
when
yeah.
it's a tragedy. Believe me, it's a tragedy. Sometimes mix together English words and Italian words. It's something I'm reading. I don't know. Someone said, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's sorry. I don't know if
Actually,
you.
in regards of like muscle pain in your throat, one thing I found very helpful, and this is like an old singing trick as well, is because I do because I'm trying to teach because I in my band I do a lot of like Depeche Mode sort of vocals, very like post punk, um, what's it called, like synth pop sort of
See,
vocals, yeah. But what I've been doing a lot recently is trying to do more like metal vocals, like raw,
yeah,
those
that's
kinds of
good.
vocals, and
Yeah, yeah.
um, I find because my muscles aren't used to it, I have to go the extra mile to keep it healthy, etc. So what I do is I get like little like squeezy bottles of honey. So
Yeah.
I just have a little bit and it soothes your throat. Essentially, what that does, it creates a mucus in your throat, almost like a protective guard. So say
Yeah.
you're strained singing, you're strained screaming, you're strained simply talking. Honey is just such a good thing for your throat because it basically just heals it. It just speeds up the process almost, just because it's like a plaster. It's almost like a cast.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, no, see, see. And the English helped me up to now. So my power on the line in the voice is changed.
Mm.
So I can sing more highly. So I'm teacher. I'm vocal coach to teach me how to sing correctly.
Yeah.
It's very good teaching. But when I'm changed the muscles here down the throat. Now, when I write a high notes, it's for me for easily because I have the space to
Yeah.
move it, to change a register, just put my voice in a head and become very high. So it's interesting. So for me, it's very late because I have to go, and so sorry, but I am busy. I know for I should do all the stuff. Say my family is waiting me. Uh, very Danny, I want to send you a very big hug, and I want to say thanks, Mesmerise, to have me in these nights with you in these beautiful interviews. I hope very to talk with you soon because you're a very kind person, very sympathetic person.
Thank
You
you
know
very
that.
much.
So thanks for showing my music to people, and I'll send you my second single is Saint
Oh,
of Roses,
fantastic.
and you hear it, okay, in exclusive, okay,
Okay, thank you so much.
and you tell me what do you think about
Oh
it.
yeah, of course,
Of
certainly. Thank you
course,
so much.
okay, okay, Danny. Big hugs. Sorry, but for me it's
No,
9,
that's cool.
20 or 30 in the night. So my family,
Yeah.
my kids are waiting me to eat. Understand? Sorry.
No, that's
It's
perfect, dude.
family
Thank you so
business,
much
that.
for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was nice. Thank. I say sorry always, all to hear my terrible English. Sorry for England people. I'm studying to become better in English. So anyway, have patience for me, okay?
Thank you. You've been absolutely fantastic. You've been an absolute sweetheart, and such a joy to talk to. So thank you so much for coming on to the Mesmerise podcast, and good luck with the project. And I'm looking forward to listening to your next song.
Yeah, I sent it tomorrow because it's finished.
Okay,
We
fantastic.
yeah, it's finished. It's finished. I have this the first part of my career. My agenda is to try to publicate the 5 singles, and after we finish to publish the 5 singles, I start to create the new album Dark Soul that I told you before,
Yeah.
and I'm recording 42 hours. Okay.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay. We keep in
so much.
contact. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
When you want to talk with me, just you send them a message. You say, "Oh, Kamala, you are here for the podcast." I'm saying I always here. It's important for me know in correctly time to organize my life for stay with you in the podcast. Okay.
Of course.
Thank
Okay.
big Zax, man.
All right.
Thanks.
See you later, dude. Have a good one.
Ciao, ciao.
Have a good
Ciao,
evening.
Ciao. You too. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was Alkamael. I know I'm pronouncing the name wrong, and I'm so sorry. I've been trying to get it right all evening. So there's what we'll do is we will do a raid, since we do actually have some viewers. Fantastic, yeah. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for being on the podcast tonight. What we'll do is, who will we raid tonight? You know what? He's actually been really cool to me. Let's. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I know what I've done here. I've done the name wrong. Yeah. There we go. So again, thank you so much, everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right.